Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. I am Sadia Hamid from Department of Chemistry and I hope you are all fine. Previously you have learned about physical and chemical property of alkane and alkenes. Now we are going to study about alkynes. Today we are going to study about stability of alkyne, structure of alkyne, physical properties of alkyne, different method of preparation of alkynes and acidity of terminal alkynes. At the end of this lecture you will be able to know about the relative reactivity of alkene, alkyne and alkane. You will be able to know about the different method of preparation of alkynes and their physical property and their acidity. Alkynes. In organic chemistry, an alkyne is unsaturated hydrocarbons containing at least one carbon-carbon triple bond. The simplest acycle alkyne with only triple bond and no other functional group form a homologous series with the general formula CnH2n-2, where N is the number of carbons and the simple alkyne is C2H2, known as acetylene or also known as ethine. First we will discuss about its structure. In the structure of alkyne, the carbon atom undergo sp hybridizations. You have already know about the sp hybridization. The outermost electronic configuration of carbon is 2s2, 2p2. In excited state, one electron from 2s orbital is excited to 2p orbital. Hence, the electronic configuration in the excited state is 2s1, 2px1, 2py1 and 2pz1. Here the carbon undergoes sp hybridizations to give two sp hybrid orbitals with the linear shape and bond angle is 180 degree. One of the sp hybrid orbital is connected with other carbon and other is connected with hydrogen. In the structure of acetylene molecule is linear. Here carbon is sp hybridized with other carbon atom and there is sp-s overlap between the carbon and hydrogen. So sigma bond is formed when sp-sp overlap between carbon and carbons and sp overlap and sp and s overlap between the carbon and hydrogen. The two pi bonds are unhybridized. P overlap at 90 degree which blend into a cylindrical shape. Stability of alkynes. Alkynes are more stable as compared to alkene due to the presence of extra pi bond. That's why alkynes are less reactive than alkenes. The order of reactivity is alkene is more reactive as compared to alkynes, which is more reactive as compared to alkane. In alkane, only sigma bond is present. Sigma bond is very strong bond. So due to the presence of these sigma bond, alkanes are less reactive and more stable. If we compare alkene and alkynes, in alkene one sigma bond is present and one pi bond is present. You have already studied about that pi bond is act as a nucleophile. So alkene is an electron rich species. Any electrophile can easily attack on these alkene due to the presence of these pi bond. So addition reaction take place due to the presence of these pi bond. In alkyne, one sigma bond is present and two pi bond is present. It should be more reactive as compared to alkene, but not in the case, because due to its structure and its shape, in alkyne their pi bond are less exposed as compared to alkene. The bond length of carbon-carbon double bond is 134 picometer and the bond length of carbon-carbon triple bond is 120 picometer. So ethine has short bond length as compared to ethene. Ethene pi bond are more exposed and more readily available to any electrophile as compared to ethine or alkyne. Due to the short bond length, these pi electron are near to nucleus and it is closely packed to the nucleus and it is less exposed to any electrophile. That's why alkene is more reactive as compared to alkyne. And when it is more reactive, so it is less stable as compared to alkyne. So I think you should justify the answer of these two questions which are given in your exercise. Why alkenes are more reactive than alkynes? Because alkenes are more reactive due to the presence of pi bond, because pi bond are weaker than the sigma bond and it can easily break, and their pi bond are more exposed as compared to alkynes. Although alkyne has two pi bond, but their pi bond, due to the short bond length, their pi bond are less readily available to any electrophile to make the bond. So alkyne has two pi bond but less reactive because of bond length of alkyne is less as compared to alkene. You should also justify the given order of reactivity of alkene, which is more reactive as compared to alkyne, which is more reactive as compared to alkenes. Reactivity is inversely proportional to stability. If it is more reactive, it means it is a less stable. Alkenes are less reactive due to the presence of strong sigma bond, so it is more stable compound as compared to alkyne and as compared to alkenes. So alkene is more reactive and less stable as compared to alkyne. So order of reactivity is alkene is more stable, more reactive as compared to alkyne, which is more reactive as compared to alkenes. And order of stability is alkenes is more stable as compared to alkynes, which is more stable as compared to alkenes. Physical properties of alkynes. Alkynes are non-polar in nature and are insoluble in water, but soluble in non-polar organic solvent. Their melting and boiling point and density is increased with increasing in molecular mass. As the molecular mass is increases, their melting and boiling point is also increases. Otherwise, alkynes have weak van der Waals forces. The carbon 2 to carbon 4 are gases, carbon 5 to carbon 12 are liquids, and higher are solid in nature. Alkynes can be prepared by the following method. Alkynes can be prepared by the elimination reaction and also alkylation of sodium acetylides. We will only discuss the elimination of hydrogen halide. Elimination of hydrogen halide. Alkynes can be prepared by dehydrohalogenation of vicinal or geminal dihalide in the presence of some alkaline reagent. Elimination means removal. Hydrogen halide, hydrogen is attached with halogens. So it is also known as dehydrohalogenation. Removal of hydrogen halide. Removal of two molecules of HX from vicinal or geminal dihalide produced an alkyne. First step is easy, it forms vinyl halide. Second step, which is the removal of HX from vinyl halide, it's required very strong base and a high temperature. What is geminal dihalide and vicinal dihalide? Geminal dihalides in which two halogens atoms are bonded to the same carbons. Dihalide means two halogens group are attached, and these two halogen group are attached in the same carbon, then it is known as geminal dihalide. When these two halogens are attached or bonded to adjacent carbon, then it is known as vicinal dihalide. These two halogens are attached into the same carbons. It is known as geminal dihalide. Here, these two halogens, bromine and bromine, are attached on the adjacent carbon. So, it is known as vicinal dihalide. From vicinal dihalide, elimination of two molecules of hydrogen halide from two adjacent carbon to give an alkynes. If we have ethylene dibromide, if we treat it with any base, that is potassium hydroxide, it gives vinyl bromide, which is further react with sodium amide or soda amide, it gives ethylene or alkyne. We have vicinal dihalide. If vicinal dihalide is treated with base, here we use KOH, potassium hydroxide. So removal of HBr, it is converted into vinyl bromide. Vinyl bromide, then vinyl bromide is further react with base. Here we use soda amide or sodium amide. It is a very strong base as compared to potassium hydroxide, and it is converted into ethylene. Dear students, we use the same base like KOH in both steps. But in that case, if we use potassium hydroxide in the second step, the rate of reaction is very slow and the yield of ethylene or alkyne is also very low. That's why we need a very strong base like soda amide. We use soda amide in the second step to remove the hydrogen bromide. Mechanism of the reaction. We have vicinal dihalide or 1,2-dibromoethane. OHs come from the base that we used, KOH, potassium hydroxide. Potassium hydroxide, OH taken up the proton, it is converted into water, and the double bond is moved in that positions. And potassium, which contain positive charge, it react with bromine to form potassium bromide. Base KOH, which is taken up the proton, it is converted into the water, and bromine, it is reacted with potassium, it is converted into potassium bromide, and electrons of hydrogen is moved towards between the carbon which make the double bond between carbon and carbon. It is converted into vinyl bromide. In the second step, these vinyl bromide is react with soda amide. Here X represent bromine, is a vinyl bromide. It is reacted with soda amide NaNH2. NH2 is a very strong base. So these amide NH2 anion come along with its negatively charged function as a base, can take this proton, and this time these electron comes move between carbons triple bond and finally form alkyne. Sodium is react with bromine, it is converted into sodium bromide, and NH2 taken up this proton, it is converted into NH3, and electrons of these hydrogen is move or shifted toward carbon, it is converted into carbon triple bond. If we use potassium hydroxide, in the presence of potassium hydroxide and high temperature, the triple bond is formed in the internal positions of alkyne. So internal alkynes are formed when we use potassium hydroxide at very high temperature. But when we use soda amide in the presence of ammonia, it forms the terminal alkynes. When triple bond is present between the carbon and two alkyl group or aryl group are attached on both sides, then this is known as internal alkyne. And when only one alkyl group is present on the other side, one hydrogen group is present, those carbon in which triple bond is formed, then this is known as the terminal alkyne. So when potassium hydroxide is used, then internal alkyne is formed, and when we use the soda amide in the presence of liquid ammonia, then terminal alkyne is formed. So molten KOH or alcoholic KOH at 200 degrees centigrade favor at internal alkynes. Here we take another example. Here the internal alkynes are formed if we use potassium hydroxides. Sodium amide or soda amide at 150 degrees centigrade followed by water favors the terminal alkyne. Here if we use sodium amide, then we form terminal alkynes. Let's look another reaction. The same reaction, this time halogen, but this time halogen is attached into the same carbon. Two halogen is attached into the same carbon. This is known as geminal dihalide. So from geminal dihalide, we can prepare alkyne if we treat it with geminal dihalide in the presence of sodium amide or the KOH. It is converted into terminal alkynes. If we use 1,1-dibromoethane, then ethylene is formed. And if we used 1,1-dibromopropane, then in presence of the sodium amide, it is converted into propynes. Mechanisms are same. If we have geminal dihalide, both the halogens or both the halide ion are present on the same carbon. So in the presence of sodium amide or the soda amide, it is converted into alkyne. First, NH2 act as a strong base, so it is come along with its negative charge, function as a base, and can taken up the protons, and electrons are shifted between the carbon and it make the double bond between the carbon and carbons, and one HX is removed in the first step. In the second step, another amide group or other NH2 group taken up the second proton, and it is converted into ammonia, and these protons are electrons are shifted between the carbon and it is finally form the carbon triple bond and alkynes. Acidity of terminal alkynes. Terminal alkyne in ethyne and other terminal alkynes, the hydrogen atom is bounded to carbon atom with sp-s overlap. These terminal alkyne are more acidic than any other hydrocarbons. sp-s overlap or sp hybridization mean it has more s character. When it has more s character, it is more electronegative. So pair of electron is in anion is held more closely to the nucleus. There is a less charge separation, so it is a more stable anion. Let's look at the reaction. If we have terminal alkynes, any base can taken up these proton because it can easily donate its protons. When it donated protons, when it can easily donate its proton, it is converted into anion. There is a sp-s hybridizations or sp-s overlap between the carbon and hydrogen. sp hybridization means there is a 50% s character in it, and it's make the carbon more electronegative. As a result, the sp hybridized carbon atom of terminal alkyne pulls the electron towards itself more strongly, making the attached hydrogen is slightly acidic in nature. It creates the partial negative charge on the carbon and partial positive charge on the hydrogen. Any base which can taken up these proton, these electrons are more electronegative. It can pull the electron more strongly towards itself. It is converted into the carb anion. These carb anion are more stable compound, and due to this H positive, partial H positive can be substituted with any metals, and thus the substitution reaction occurred due to the presence of these H positives, and it can easily donate its protons, so mean it is acidic in nature. So terminal alkyne show acidic property. Acids are those species which can easily donate protons. So here terminal alkyne, due to the presence of these carb anion, the negative charge on the carbon and anion are formed. It is more stable. It stabilize anion. So when it is more stabilized anion, it can easily release H positive. So when it give H positive ion, then it show the acidic property. And these H positive ion can be replaced with the different heavy metals like copper and silver. Forming acetylides ion, these H positive can be removed from terminal alkyne by sodium amide. Sodium amide we have already discussed that it is a very strong base, so it can taken up the proton easy. We have terminal alkyne, it is react with sodium amide or soda amide, and it is converted into carb anion and ammonia. Here NH2 sodium, which is Na positive, and NH2 it is a negatively charged. It taken up these proton, and the electron are shifted towards these carbon which show the negative charge, and NH2 which taken up these proton, it is converted into NH3. And so here it is converted into NH3, and the proton electrons are shifted towards the carbon which contain negative charge on these carbons, and this is known as acetylide ion. And these acetylides ion are very valuable reagent for chemical synthesis, and it is very ionic in nature. So acetylides of copper and silver are also obtained by passing these acetylene in the cuprous chloride and silver nitrate. Due to the presence of these terminal alkyne, these hydrogen can easily replace with any heavy metals. Terminal alkyne form a precipitate with the heavy metal like silver and the coppers, and these only terminal alkyne can do these reactions, because internal alkyne doesn't react with copper and silver. So this test is used for two purposes. It is used for the qualitative test for terminal alkyne, and it is also used for the separations or distinguish between terminal and um, internal alkynes. So alkenides are these are used for the preparation, purification, separation, and identifications of alkynes. If we have terminal alkynes, here we have terminal alkyne. It is reacted with copper, no reaction will occur. Here we have the internal alkyne. So internal alkyne, this hydrogen is replaced with the copper. So red brown precipitate are formed. If we have two different alkynes are present and we treat with the cuprous chloride, so if no reaction occur, it's mean the triple bond are present in the internal position, and if red brown precipitate are formed, it means terminal alkynes are present. So filter the solid to separate and regenerate these terminal alkyne again by treating it like acid HCl or also a nitric acid. So these terminal alkyne are also regenerated when it is treated with acid. We have acetylene. It is treated with silver nitrate in the presence of ammonium hydroxide. Here two hydrogen are present. These two hydrogen can be replaced. It is converted into diacetyliodine. So if these hydrogen is replaced with, here it is replaced with the silver, it is known as disilver acetylide. So these disilver acetylides are white in color. So white precipitate are formed if we treated with ethine or acetylene with silver nitrate in the presence of ammonium hydroxide. Similarly, if we have acetylene treated with the cuprous chloride in the presence of ammonium hydroxide, then these two hydrogens are replaced with the copper. Copper and silver both are heavy metals. So if these two are treated with replaced with the copper, then dicopper acetylides or copper ethanides are produced, which is reddish brown in color. So reddish brown precipitate of form if we treated acetylene with cuprous chloride, and white precipitate are formed if we treated acetylene with silver nitrate. And these two terminal alkyne can be regenerated again if we treated with these disilver acetylide and dicopper acetylide are treated with sulfuric acid or nitric acid. So these hydrogen can be replaced. It can be replaced, and again alkyne or terminal alkynes are formed. Thank you.